you're in ignorance. Islam being submission. Whatever the world religion, doesn't matter. If you're submitting your will to the will of God, seeking out the knowledges of God, seeking out the knowledges of the soul, then you're leaving ignorance. But the devil comes to fool people, don't worry about the soul, live in a 666 environment. Don't think about the soul, live only for your body. Then that person is what? They're living a life of ignorance. So then their lataif of the ignorance is opening very powerful, very powerful. It becomes so powerful, it takes away any idea of even submitting. If the ignorance is building, then the point below the left side of the heart, where faith should have been growing from the soul, it becomes the anger. So opposite, you put in Islam, opposite of Islam is ignorance. For Iman, your left point of your chest, where your heart and the house of your heart, the house of Allah that should be Iman, and inside the house of Allah should be only the love of Prophet, because Iman is to love Prophet more than you love yourself. Yourself shouldn't be there. So Allah's even teaching in the house, I don't want you in my house, because Qalb al-Mu'min Baytullah. So the Prophet is teaching, in Baytullah you shouldn't have yourself in there. Your love should only be for me. Because Allah don't want to see me and you in the heart. And what I want to, my desires, Allah wants to see the love of Prophet in the heart. If that maqam al-iman is not there, what happens with ignorance? Ignorance builds anger. So anger is kufr. Anger is the opposite of faith. So then on your heart, and the lataif of the heart, when there's iman is the top, should be powerful. If there is no iman and the iman is not growing, it's ghadab and anger. So now you begin to understand the reality of the self. If I'm overwhelmed with anger, I actually have no iman. Because every time the anger comes, it flushes out the light of faith. That's why Prophet described, I cannot sit with anger. As soon as anger comes to the servant, they enter into disbelief. That right there is then a tremendous reality. My life is about, is my anger overtaking or is my faith coming? So this is a great yin and yang moment in our lives, that I'm trying to build faith. I have beautiful actions, I have good intentions, I'm trying to bring this light and this light and this light. But in a moment of rage, the anger actually then overtakes the faith and burns everything. And that's why it's such an essential part. And that's why then Prophet gave many different realities on how to take out the anger. One is the wudu, one is the washing, one is an outside action, outside marking of yourself for an internal sickness. If you are serious about fighting a difficulty, then take something as a reminder. Wrap a bow around your hand, a yellow bow, any color bow, put something on your hand and say, Ya Rabbi, a rubber band, anything that I'm going to work on my ghadab and my anger. You have to have an external reminder, because shaitan makes you to forget every moment about what you're working on. Say, Ya Rabbi, I want all my good actions and my iman to blossom, but this fire of anger comes and burns this beautiful garden in just but a moment. As soon as they put an outside reminder, then for 40 days they're going to work on not having anger. As soon as they feel anger coming, they see the reminder. They see, oh my God, I'm working on this, I'm going to go wash. As soon as they put water onto fire, then the قُلْ يَا نَهْرُ كُلِي بَارْدًا وَسَلَامًا. Say out to the fire to be cool and peaceful. As soon as they wash, they're training themselves. If they can't control their mouth, put a lollipop. Modern day version of a rock, because we don't want the liability of somebody saying they choked on a rock. Put a nice big Tootsie Pop with a stick on it and keep it in your mouth. Literally. Keep them all the time. If you have a mouth that you can't control, undo the wrapper and you don't talk. For 40 days say, Ya Rabbi, I'm going to try my best to bring down my anger. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to get angry. If this fire of anger for the downward understanding, they live a life of no knowledge, ignorant of the realities of the soul, then the fire of their ignorance begins to overtake them. As a result of this anger and lack of knowledge, they entered into a darkness in which the fire and rage is in their genital area. So the lower desire begins to overtake them. And everything about their lower desire is of a fiery nature. So ignorance, anger makes fire. So then the whole of this dunya now is operating, and these are the concepts of 666. So if we want to know, where is 666, where is 6, everyone on earth now is based on that 666. Based on that Dajjal, the man of deception, the people of deception. And all his deception is about keeping people ignorant. Make them to be stupid, make them to be dumbed down, make them to have no understanding of anything significant and no basis of any knowledge that glorifies Allah. Anyone who studies a science and goes to a modern university, if what you study, its intention is not to glorify Allah, it is then glorifying Satan. It's a very simple line. If I study advanced physics, mathematics and sciences with the intention to glorify my Lord, then when I study it I say, SubhanAllah, Ya Rabbi, how you made all this amazing creation. That knowledge is based on the glorification of Allah. If I study it to disprove Allah and to think that we came from a baboon, you're in the school of shaitan, and shaitan is taking away all light and has a knowledge that's not based on anything from the heavens. So then knowledge, anger makes fire. As a result of that, these people are raging. As a result of their raging, they're angry, and all they want to do is increase ignorance, increase their anger and increase the fire upon earth until they burn each other everywhere. So now what has entered into this earth and is increasing day by day is of that. Immense ignorance is entering. Immense angers are proliferating everywhere. And then as a result, everything begins to burn. And that's why in these days you're seeing so many of awliyaullah being taken. When Allah lift, and Prophet ﷺ described that in the last days they would take away knowledge from the earth, and companions were scared that would Qur'an be taken? No, but knowledges would be taken. Knowledges, because the true stars, the people of ahbab and love, their love produced immense oceans of reality. If Allah take the lovers away from the earth, what remains is hatred. And everything of this earth, from what you cannot see, every building, every molecule, everything around us, its glue is held by love and muhabbat. If Allah pulls the love, everything begins to turn to dust. The love is pulled. When the love pulls, everything begins to collapse and become dust. It means everything begins to burn, to begin to collapse. Everything begins to be destroyed. Love is being pulled. The true lovers are all leaving, and that's why we posted. Imam Ali asked me while I'm here, there's not a day that is going to be forever. When there's a Shaykh, you have to be there present with them. They're there to address you, to bless you. Whatever Allah put upon their heart to be conveyed to you, fitna and incorrect understandings is only the party of shaitan that want to people to be in ignorance. What Prophet ﷺ would never want. Prophet ﷺ wants the dissemination of Islam, Iman and Maqam al-Ihsan. Shaitan wants no dissemination. That's why when you understand the people of 666, they don't want knowledge anywhere. And they don't put it on their satellites, they don't put it on anything. They want only people to be in ignorance. They have only the way to propagate a way of anger. Even both television shows propagate anger. Nobody propagating love. So they just increase anger. One who says he's for him shows the anger, the one against him talks in anger. So all they're really doing is propagating anger, anger, anger. And then the people become fiery. They care nothing for this world, they care nothing for people. There's no value. Every television show is about how horribly they want to do to each other and to do to humanity. So then we understand the lower triangle based on this reality. So the only thing, when Prophet ﷺ described my companions are like stars and all these awliyaullah, they're inheriting from the holy companions. Why they became a star? Because with that reality of ignorance, Prophet ﷺ opened for them their true Islam. That they chose the Islam of realities. That Islam, the power of their soul, comes and locks the point of ignorance. Takes away ignorance and brings the reality of their Islam. As a result, it takes out the fire of the part of the triangle for the down triangle. The point that would have been ignorance is enlightened by the reality of their Islam. The true Islam of love, of actions, of submitting, of being trained in how to be nothing, to be humble. Not read about humble and tell people to be humble, but to be humbled yourself. To be brought down and humiliate yourself continuously. Then brings that down and that light begins to encompass that reality. Their anger is brought down by the light of their faith. As soon as they make praisings, as soon as they make salawat, the light emanating from their heart immediately extinguishes the fire. Because it's much more powerful. Their faith is so powerful, immediately it extinguishes anger, and then the soul grabs those 2 points and illuminates them. That's how the star is now transforming. Instead of having 2 triangles, one up and one down, their triangle of their soul is actually coming out and overtaking their body. Where everybody else is reversed. The inside triangle, the upper soul triangle is of no power. So their lower body reality overtakes them and they become just a body person. In this reality, when Allah opens the upward reality, their soul actually starts to come out. And they're operating from their soul. Their soul's Islam puts and takes away ignorance and gives them knowledges. They can speak from what other people can't even understand. That's why we said that the knowledges will be lifted from the earth. These are real lovers, they are real stars on this earth. The knowledges that are coming not only wipe away ignorance, but bring all the haqqaiqs of the heavens. The iman that they have is so powerful, it takes away anger and takes away anger of anyone in their presence. Because of the level of iman, the light that coming from that star, their star bigger than the sun. The sun is smallest version. Their sun, their star, bigger than that reality. That's an imitated reality just to show us the reality of a shams. So imagine that all this earth is a speck in the presence of the sun. This earth, with its 7 billion people, is like epsilon in the presence of the sun. There are suns billion times larger than that sun. Even a red giant maybe 100 times bigger than that. There are awliya of different category and different powers of their sun reality. The 10,000 earths are like a dot in their presence. What Allah gave to the power of the soul can't even be imagined. So their Islam, it wipes out, and their iman wipes out every disbelief, every badness, every sin. Everything is washed and burned in their presence. Every dead comes to life with the reality of their Islam and their iman. As a result of the power of their soul, their maqam al-ihsan in their light of perfection, it took away the fire of